Hail adventurers, 'tis I, Tila Tequila, Jihad Johnny, and now featuring Bonbons with Pone Star Gaming. Guys, today's a great day. Let me tell you, we are just about at our 200 subscriber count, so we're gonna call this our 200 subscriber special. I'm really excited. That's kind of crazy in my opinion for an Ultima Online channel on YouTube. It's just that's nuts. So with that, our 200 subscriber special is actually going to be a little bit about the Omniboss. And as you guys know, the Omniboss is the end game boss for Ultima Online Outlands, and most people take in about 25 or more people, ideally, to go take on the Omniboss. Well, what if I told you that a group of highly skilled individuals went in there with 10 people? Just 10 people. Pretty crazy, right? Well, I'm going to tell you all about that right after we do our beer of the day. Today's beer of the day is actually from Odell Brewing Company. They're out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Pulp Theory Hazy IPA. Odell Brewing's pretty cool because it was founded by Doug Odell, his wife Winnie, and his sister Corky. I already like them because of those names. That's just that's funny to me. Really good names. Either way, Odell started home brewing actually in 1981 after cleaning what's called a mash tun for about 11 years. He had a job with another brewing company, and that's kind of what inspired him to start doing home brewing. And then 8 years later, that's when they founded Odell Brewing. They always try to stay real innovative with different brews and beverages, and they definitely don't want to sacrifice quality for cost, like putting in hop extract instead of actual hops. So they get their hops from a farmer that they know and that they trust. There's a YouTube video on their YouTube all about that farmer. Their YouTube channel is actually pretty cool. But let's go ahead and jump into the Hazy IPA and let's give it a shot. It's always funny when the names match the flavor. It's hazy, and there's really no other way to put it. It kind of has a lavender smell to it. I don't know, whatever. It's really good. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's talk more about this Omniboss. Let's get into it. All right, back to the matter at hand. 10-man Omni. How did it happen? Who did it? And what the heck? How did they do it? Well, we're about to talk all about that. Basically how it went down was, while I'm sitting there trying to figure out what to do for my 200 subscriber special, my man Zera here messages me and says, listen, how would you feel about doing a 10-man Omni fight video? We can provide screenshots, we can provide the voice files, which leads me to the next person we collaborated this with, Biffskis over there at Twitch. He did the entire thing live on Twitch. Not only did he do that, but he wrote a really cool script where he explains the different templates and the different mastery chains and all that really cool stuff. And they put it on a really neat Google Drive thing, and my job was to edit it and make it look cool. So that's what we did. Guys, without further ado, I give you 10-man Omni. Let's go.
Welcome to Zera's handpicked 10-man Omni kill. Zera's goal was not only to form a superstar 10-man team to kill Omni in under 60 minutes, but to do it with a variety of unique templates. He wanted to show that we are not limited in choices for viable boss killing templates. Today's video, we are showcasing a 36-minute Omni kill by a 10-man team made up of mages, dexxers, trappers, a tamer, a summoner, and a bard. Doing this with so few numbers would be a server first achievement, so we recruited some of the most successful PvM players. Armadillo, Blood Void Mesa. Armadillo was one of the 3 dexxer tanks, using shield taunt to control and keep Omni in place. For Mastery Chain, Armadillo stacks melee aspect effect chance, melee swing speed, damage to bosses, and melee special chance. He chooses Blood Armor aspect and Void Weapon, providing 267 DPS, amounting to 12.4% of overall party damage. Armadillo did 268k damage with melee hits and 302k with procs, putting him in 3rd place for damage. Walmart, Fire Void Mesa. Walmart is unique for a dexxer, having 0 spell resist and 120 blacksmithy. Blacksmithy provides a PVM damage bonus, in addition to Artisan, which lends an additional 24.5%. After using Artisan to buff himself, he switches to Fire Armor aspect with Void Weapon until the boss is at 33% health, and then he swaps to Blood Armor, which gives a huge damage bonus at this point. For Mastery Chain, Walmart stacks damage to bosses, melee aspect effect modifier, and melee aspect effect chance. Note, damage to bosses mastery links also raise proc damage. Walmart did 340k damage with his melee hits and 337k with procs, scoring 2nd place on the board with 315 DPS, making up 14.6% of overall group damage. Derek, Earth Shadow Mesa. Derek uses Mining and Earth Armor aspect to increase the damage of his mace, while utilizing the Shadow aspect weapon ability to earn backstabs. He prefers the tankiness in a dexxer build, mitigating damage with his parrying, spell resist, and Earth Armor aspect. For links, Derek stacks melee aspect effect chance and melee aspect effect modifiers, putting out 230k damage with melee hits and 93k damage in shadow procs, scoring 8th place with 150 DPS at 6.9% overall party damage. Pockets, Mage Command Tamer. With some careful thought, Pocket selected the Bullworm combo for Omni. Since we knew the boss was going to be stationary for the most part, Pockets knew the Bull would land its charge ability nearly every time. As for the Worm, having a Bard would lend some much needed accuracy through song buffs. Please note, typically in a big group Omni fights, it's preferred everyone uses Drowned Dragon and Bloodworm. The Drowned Dragons act like trappers through consistent AoE. The main source of damage from this template is command procs to pet damage. Taste ID lends the template with solid mana regen, which translates to more flame strikes casted, and in turn more procs and thus more pet damage. For Mastery Chain links, first Pocket stacks spell aspect effect chance, then spell aspect effect modifier, with follower damage lastly. Pockets did 70k damage with spells and 830k damage with his followers, scoring 1st place with 427 DPS, amounting to 19.8% overall group damage. Frieden, Epic Bard. As Frieden put it, the Bard will make your team stronger and the boss weaker. But in all seriousness, we could have not killed Omni in this time without the buffs that Frieden provided. This template is an absolute clutch for team success. Frieden uses Water Aspect Weapon for increased crit and Lyric Armor for party buffs and increased barding on boss. For weapon skill, he made a last minute change to swordsmanship to provide the group with the Lacerate effect, lending the group with an increased chance to inflict special weapon attacks on Omni. For Chain Mastery, he uses Effect Barding, Barding Effect Durations, and Melee Aspect Effect Chance. Omni was discorded for 95% of the fight. Biff, Tamer Trapper. Tamer Trapper provides solid adds damage support. I chose Prowler to assist with AoE, but respec'd it with higher AR than usual for survival purposes. I engaged in constant aspect armor switching using Fortune while trapping and command armor during trap cooldowns. I used command spellbook for the entire fight. For my links, I went with trap damage and spell aspect proc chance. I pumped out 263k damage to adds and 299k damage to boss, lending 12.1% of total group damage. I would have placed 3rd if I hadn't let my Prowler go AFK for 5 minutes. What a muppet. Crispy, Mage Trapper. Having a second trapper is absolutely necessary at Omni. Adds will appear for every 100k damage dealt to Omni, so while my traps are on cooldown, Crispy was able to take the wheel and continue providing explosions. Crispy did 138k damage to adds and 110k damage to the boss. Strava, Eldritch Summoner. Mr. Strava, our favourite summoner, provided us with strong water elementals, using talent points ideal for tanking absolutely everything in the room. With high aggro and insane survivability, Strava used his allies to pull adds to stack on boss. This helps everyone, especially the trappers, to make use of the AoE damage while still hurting Omni. Playing full Eldritch aspect allowed long Flamestrike rails with plenty of mana refunds due to the mana wells from the Eldritch procs. For Mastery Chain, he stacks spell aspect effect chance. He provided 224k damage with spells and 113k proc damage, amounting to 7.9% of total group damage, coming in at 7th place. Wes Furtive, Void Blood Mage. Wes, the legendary mage, joined us with an offensive kit consisting of camping, tracking and inscription, with the intention of squeezing out as much spell damage as possible. We were surprised at how fast Omni was going down that Wes decided to switch to Bloodbook and join the trappers as adds support. Wes is using Mind Blast as his main damage spell, where he almost never runs out of mana thanks to Void Armor and Supreme Book. For Mastery Chain, Wes stacks Spell Aspect Effect Chance and Spell Aspect Effect modifiers. Wes pumped out 160k damage with spells and 230k damage in procs, at 182 DPS amounting to 8.4% of group damage. Last but not least, Zera, Eldritch Mage. The mighty and proud mage Zera plays in full Eldritch aspect, which provides a lot of benefits to Inscription and Spirit Speak. The main purpose of Zera's build is to maximize mana pool, mana regen and spell damage. At times during the Omni fight, Zera was able to rail out as many as 20 flame strikes in a single mana pool, with damage spikes of up to 1500 each. Zera earns 42 mana per mana well from the Eldritch proc, which is another free flame strike. Note: spell modifier mastery links increase the mana of your mana wells. This flame strike machine gunner pumped out 201 DPS. That was 272k damage in flame strikes with 150k in proc damage, amounting to 9.3% of party damage, coming in 5th place. With intentions of staying under 1 hour, our first attempt at Omni was successful at 36 minutes. Omni's total hit points is 4 million, with adds amounting to 650k. So there you have the 10-man superstar Omni kill. Hopefully this shows that there are a colourful range of useful boss killing and support templates out there, and that they all vary in price range. However, it's important to address that most of the team had high-end mastery chains and aspect levels. We hope that this will be useful in helping you find the right path on your mastery and aspect journey, as these can be expensive mistakes to make on your own. Lastly, it's granted that we got lucky with the Omni type that spawned, and if it were a Storm Demon, the fight may have looked very different and included new challenges. If any of today's templates interest you, please do not hesitate to message the respective owner for any questions. We hope you enjoyed this Omni kill and that it inspires you to try new templates.
Well, there you guys have it. That's the 10-man Omni. What I gathered from that is that there are many templates and that really don't just do the cookie cutter one that you found, and it's okay to branch out and come up with your own thing. I noticed a whole bunch of different variations of different templates, and they all did more damage than mine. So branch out there, find your own, use some theory crafting, and come up with something cool. And go ahead and comment below some really cool, crazy templates that you've came up with or that you've heard of that you think might be effective or are effective. Also, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Guys, that's it for this week, and thank you very much. I'll see you next week.